Amanek, he may be the first to die, but Magisk doesn't check it. And Amanek sees them crossing. He turns out. Oh!
Who needs caffeine? Oh my god.
That's it.
Wow.
That's the game.
That's it. Yeah. Let's, oh, a 4K. Every reaction. Oh. Oh. That was wonderful. Very, very nicely done, Amanek.
Ladies and gentlemen, buckle in.
All right, I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth here. The last time Astralis and G2 played on Inferno, it went to overtime. Astralis still won, but at least G2 got them that close. It was one of the closest that they've ever gotten to losing, apart from the 2 games out of the last 12 they actually did. So now we've got the Glock save. They really have to take a seat after that one. We've seen Glaive call a pause after a round like that.
Yeah. Yeah, we have. We've seen him call a pause after a lot less than something like that.
Yeah.
Nothing but Glocks here for Astralis. Man, you run that play a million times. How many moments actually work out that perfectly? Magisk is going to manage to win a duel despite only having that default pistol. Kind of draws Astralis a little bit closer. They do pick up the MP9 as well. Mid, he's able to get one with his SMG, and sure enough, the umps prevail. But it's just a little back and forth affair there from Astralis hitting.
We love to see.
Yeah, the more niko unleashed we see, the better. Frag grenade versus device. We've got the rest of G2 just very comfortable on this A site. It's going to take something special from Astralis to puncture through this hold.
And they got 15 seconds.
Not a lot of time. Glaive, he's going to get that headshot, but Amanek, he buys time by sitting comfortably inside of the pit. There's the push down into pit by Zipnix, and he's got 2 CTs to take. Both of them here in front of him, but he doesn't know about Nexa. Hides up on the hay bales and just gets G around like this from Astralis. Gonna start gathering information versus G2, figuring them out. And well, I do see a liability in the potential of this Balk hit.
Yeah.
Flash is gonna come over from Magisk. And once it does, we could see these 2 MAC-10s just try and burst out, just try and close that distance, try and figure out where G2 are hiding at. We've got Kenny there on the barrel watching balcony, and then 2 CTs up on that porch. Kenny just does it on his own. His 2 teammates so comfortable until this point. More presence being shown, but that boiler pinch, that's what's supposed to alleviate the pressure, and so far so good. Magisk, he goes in, gets an AK, bomb still stranded back on Balk. CT's flashbang, that blinded his teammate who was looking to cheat through smoke device. He just got niko with the deagle, and we are into the 2 versus 2. I thought those MAC-10s had to work, but it didn't. And yet still we see Astralis with somewhat of a recovery, but can they close? Amanek and Nexa, utility still to use. Smoke on the side of the site. Molotov here in front of Magisk. Flash by his side. And Nexa's gonna get the kill off of the incendiary. Device, who has already given us a deagle kill, just needs one more. But Nexa's had enough. G2, another round where it boils down to the 1 versus 1, but that's a 4th consecutive round win.
Yeah, it's not bad. Listen, Kenny S has all the impact there. Getting the down, you see him dodge the flashes, purposefully turning the other way, and then getting the 1st and 2nd kill. That's everything. Kenny S's performance from yesterday's carrying forward, that's great to see. It used to be a hallmark map for him, and it feels like these days he's not had so much impact on Inferno. So that's very nice as well. Smoke, then he'll probably win the round. If Nexa has to go and defuse knowing that Device was last left in pit.
Oh, get aggression.
It takes a bit of a risk, and nice. Nexa comes flying through the smoke. They get the early info on B, and Astralis will push for top mid control in exchange for the fact that G2 are playing the 3B setup. How fast will they move on to A?
Incredibly quick until they're met by that smoke. Zipix, he is going to get the better of Kenny S, so the T's continue on through it. Amanek shaving one off Balk. And a bit of a continuation spray that just doesn't quite get the additional kill. dupreeh finds the headshot into Hunter. Man advantage for Astralis. And niko already knocking on the door of this A site. It's him and Nexa. 2 flashes between them. Molotov as well. But this smoke grenade's going to buy some very crucial time. Astralis, glaive, he's got cover. Easy cover, but they go for the boost. And that does catch Magisk off guard. Glaive's unable to trade. At least not right away. But he does then move from where he revealed himself to be to the opposite side of the pit. And the CTs still decide to commit, but they're not being given anything else here. dupreeh dodging the shots as Glaive comes back at them from a slightly different angle, and you can see niko pulled between two directions, ripped in half as Astralis. I was in the server checking it out, and I'm like, I actually didn't want this. The second hit of that high was not as good as the first one. So yeah, I gave Gaben 20 bucks and said, take this off me.
Could have just held on to it, see if the price went up, try to make back your money instead of instantly.
You know what I used with that money? I bought Cyberpunk.
You refunded as if he didn't have any money left over to buy Cyberpunk. But okay, we're back into the game.
We're back into the game, and it's G2 who don't have enough money. They've got just a few upgraded pistols here, 2 sets of Kevlar smoke grenade, trying to keep Astralis off a second round, but odds are low. And Astralis off of the pause are not going to waste any time here, but there's 4 CTs in position. Oh, and niko, he's going to give it to them the moment they come around that corner, not to mention Hunter still on the half wall. niko, he's going to get himself the second deagle kill until Hunter comes in with the CZ, and on top of oranges, what a nice delayed play from Nexa. It's going to put the pressure on jaCkz, and currently he's getting pinched. Whether he knows it or not, that second CT at the base of Banana now buying time. Check out Hunter hiding in construction. Just sitting in there.
Well, it's not every day you see Astralis get eco'd.
You can barely see him. And they haven't finished the eco, but hot damn is it close.
Here's the ideal play. jaCkz walks 3 CT spawn all the way to A. He would go unnoticed. He just doesn't know. He thinks they're holding construction, watching the cross in some form or fashion. And now he's going to walk it back this way, and he's going to get caught completely off guard. Nobody has flanked. It is not every day you see jaCkz lose to somebody, but he was already in the middle of the engagement, so it made a lot of sense to stay up there. I believe you refunded Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did it.
But anyways, I'm over it.
It might go on sale in the meantime. Save 20 bucks.
That nade is very valuable. How much is the one headshot dink damage from an M4? God, English is so hard.
That was a tough one, right?
Yeah.
91. Isn't it?
Magisk, one of the best B entries in the world, will get shut down by one of the best B holders in the world. That's niko.
Kenny S not even moving, but when that smoke pops, he does lay down one shot and gets a kill with it. Glaive. Trusty ump is his, but Kenny S.
And Kenny S was over at B the entire time for that whole beginning of the round. Perfect. Shut down that entry with niko. Magisk will look for a peek for himself. niko will take him out. And yeah, this is the counter half buy, I guess. They're not investing fully. jaCkz does spend all his money on this AK. Everybody else will just have deagle and nades. And Astralis have still the option to try to go into some kind of exec here. But look at this, the resmoke from way back. No one's even here to watch it to see if they're getting bracket control or not. But it does its job. The T's whimper away. And now CT sitting in sight. We'll see how this setup holds. They tried to get a rotation, but G2 don't move a muscle. They won't flinch.
manwook looking down short side. That utility makes him a little bit nervous about balcony. He's going to move over into the little pit, and Glaive, well, he tries to fall back around the smoke, but Kenny's going to catch him. And then Kenny extends, loses his head, and opens a route of exit for Astralis. If they want to go contest that CT spawn, but with 25 seconds left on the clock, Hunter's going to have to turn his attention to library. 2 players from Astralis up short. manwook makes that first contact, doesn't hit a shot. Hunter's still unknown to the T side, but it is just deagles trying to come up short, and while jaCkz kills the player inside of the site, that is what they needed. Device with the deagle kill. Goes ahead, grabs a second AK. Now we've got all 4 remaining players on rifles. Flashbang from jaCkz. Nexa walks in slowly alongside niko. They've made no sound here. and they're right on the cusp of the site. The element of surprise. jaCkz dives back down into the cover, and as he goes up off of the flash, niko locks in to give G2 their 7.
Damn near nails it, but this is a round G2 should have won every day of the week. They come through, it comes close. Really nice attempt from Astralis. They caught Kenny off guard, they got onto the site, but ultimately G2 hold their nerve, and the retake comes through. And it feels like G2 are doing a lot of good things, making a lot of the right plays, and I don't think it's exactly clear that Astralis will somehow work their way back in. So far, it feels like the only thing that could stop the CT side is if they just go back to not doing anything, if they lose proactivity. But look at them. They're already taking overhauls. They still are a little bit weaker in B at the moment, but they're trying to make the read that Astralis will try to take overhauls in the default, and they're right about it. Not only that, but they've got insurance. They have 2 people here at the end of long haul. They get the opening kill once again. Things are looking very good for G2.
It's really nice to see G2 just not sitting back. Rather, keeping things active. Not letting Astralis slot in.
I would bet money they absolutely talked about stuff to fix on their CT side.
When I look at this G2 roster, I just think to myself, like, they've got the players and the firepower to make plays. And maybe when the game's not going well for them, they start to shy away from that. But when it is going well, it would be a shame if they stopped and shot themselves in their own foot. Keep up this pressure.
Halls is a good call out. We just had 3 G2 players in here, but they got their kill, they left. And now the back of Halls is actually a weak point on the setup. But Kenny S will start to move back to try to take care of this. Molly comes down, cancels out half of the smoke, and Astralis gets smoked out of middle too. There are answers here for G2.
Utility's starting to curb back Astralis. 20 seconds, so they have to make their move. Kenny S inside of the site. He does lose his teammate, but then trades it. Oh, he gets dinked, though. Device through that mid-box, hitting him 2 times. Hunter comes through smoke, stops the bomb carrier. There is still enough time to recover. Yet another 2 versus 2 moment here on the A site in the post plant. Incendiary goes down mid-site, Device extinguishes that, and Nexa comes out of library off of the back of the timing. Now there's one flash here between the 2 G2 players. It's niko and Nexa yet again. Last time this was an easy sweep, but, oh, glaive, he gets aggressive. And he's going to take down niko's head. glaive, if he peeks out, he could die himself, but at least now he's got that confirmation. Time's ticking pretty quickly, and Nexa, moments of hesitation means he concedes. Astralis, they will find their second round.
No big mistake here. There might be a punish in the save. He's walking away from the angle, finds the headshot. glaive is a little bit low in the pit, but he's doing okay. Bomb planted middle of the site. Fix some stuff. They look really good. I wouldn't be worried if I were them looking at this last round. But that being said, almanach and niko are down to just pistols. So economically, this will be trying.
Yeah, this could be the breakthrough moment for Astralis. Like you said, G2, they look so good at the moment. And they go right back into the previous round setup. This is where we saw Kenny S catch a kill through balcony, but there was never anybody to confirm that there was 3 CTs in here off the bat.
I feel like they've not used this before. I really haven't seen this 3-hall setup. I'm really a big fan of their 4-lane stack that they do.
Yeah.
This is something different.
Slightly different look.
Look at this, like, Trillium setup.
Well, could work out wonderfully. It's going to be 3 Ts by the looks of it walking in. And think back to that pop out from the balcony in previous rounds. I mean, it absolutely makes sense that G2 get ahead of this. 5-7, good for 1. Hunter trades, but Magisk, well, he's maintained. And then Kenny misses a shot. That could have been the easy 3 versus 2 because that T was running with nothing but nades out. And Magisk, he presents his head on a silver platter. If Device can't get the better of this B player, then suddenly it looks like G2 back to winning ways. But niko, he fades into the depths of this site and hides behind the new box. He's got teammates coming over. Nexa with a flashbang. Not quite in position yet. And niko, he's just trying to buy that time. Nobody's covering glaive. He comes off of the bomb plant. That is a mistake. They assumed it was clear, and a near collateral spray for Device.
But they just decided to gamble, you know, clearing out quad. They just assumed because there's some pistols involved that G2 were going to try to just full stack, and they didn't hear a noise. And so they took the risk on low time. They didn't have a molly either for quad. And now G2 kind of right back into the driver's seat. There are only 2 AKs here for Astralis. Very, very impressive game so far from G2.
pistol players down early. Was curious to see if G2 would come into this one and finally decide to go more passive, but not with that initial banana clash, clearly.
They got the kill they wanted.
So they retreat into the bomb site. niko, he's going to be off the coffins. Gets a face full of lead. Delivered by glaive. Nexa now in the same position that niko won the last round from. Nexa, he gets around the box, cuts down the first AK. 2 pistol players able to trade, and that weapon gets picked right back up. Hunter, he's going to go onto the half wall. Spotted out by the players in the depths of the site, so a man advantage made off at the back of that one. And Astralis, they only had 2 AKs at the start of this round, but it may have been enough. G2, still in a winnable position. zywoo very much just locked in on coffins, and he's going to be able to get there in the end.
The economy
almost dies, and Kenny, oh no. He's been taken down to half health, 20 HP as he escapes for the A site. A 3rd round here to the T side.
Oh, that's not a good sign. A couple of easy shots being missed by Kenny. Pretty good impact, but yeah, that's a little bit off. It was a nice try, actually a ridiculous opening kill from glaive to get into the B side too. It looks like they're playing it well. They have control of things. But at this point in the half, we're just talking about pure numbers. No one's going to care, you know, how and in which fashion the rounds are won. 8-3 at the moment. And a G2 have 4 pistols to support Kenny. Oh, the alt push. That's looking like a perfectly timed push. Yeah, they won't even know Hunter had gotten by.
I'm all aboard.
Wonder how long he stays here.
Hunter's unleashed for this one. You can see the banana players on high alert.
Oh, it's an unnerving moment here for Hunter.
Yeah, he can hear the footsteps getting closer, but he's still got a good corner. Glaive gonna get a face full of deagle, and then Magisk trades that one back. So considering that was an unarmored deagle, I think G2 happy to take it.
Yeah, they're happy about that.
And if they push up here into banana, then they just need to be wary about device. He's been left in this pocket play.
They did not.
Yeah, 2 CT. Oh, Nexa! I saw him clearing that first corner as Kenny came in, like they were aware of it, but I didn't know how sharp he was gonna be.
Oh, look, and they shut down the lane split as well. They'll push the smoke down. zywoo will try to wrap. They'll smoke Moto to take attention away from him, and someone might rotate in. This is zywoo's chance, but they're playing it cool. Oh, they clear him too. That's actually beautiful.
They are checking everything. G2 not making mistakes. And there is tons of damage that goes the other way. dupreeh, this is still a winnable position. He just needs to run to the B bomb site. Throw caution to the wind and go, my friend. But he stops and doubles back. And that's going to bring him into the numbers of G2. Defense opts to split. Kenny S opts on short. manawwk floating here with the 5-7. dupreeh, he concedes a 9th round from G2. Not the first round we see them win with just pistols.
No, this is definitely the G2 we love to watch. So, yeah, that's good. dupreeh will save his AK. You saw Nexa was making sure Kenny could always keep watching right while he cleared everything on the left. And it shows in all of these different moments in the round. They're being very aware of all these potential pocket plays that Astralis can pull, even with zywoo getting in to the side of the library door. So full strength round both ways. Astralis will jump into halls. There's nothing too tricky here from G2. They'll just kind of overstack towards the A site. B is somewhat open. And we'll see if they try to reclaim mid or if they just play back and wait. Double up on Arch. Yep, they're coming to get that info, but it's Pit that's been taken over.
2 players lock in, hoping manawwk goes for the peek. Ooh, he's jiggling with it, trying to draw them further forward. Flash is there for the face of dupreeh, and a CT Molotov on top of Hunter. That is not ideal. Not in any world. Hunter's able to dive back. Spam shots coming through. He returns the fire. Magisk gets the headshot, and Kenny's going to trade it. Smoke fading to give Kenny a line of sight. But Astralis, they've got that bomb down, and they are very much locked into Pit with a smoke on top of it. And then glaive finding the headshot through.
Damn, they mollied Hunter in the back of the site in cold. He had to smoke himself out and then jump back on the box just to try to deny the plant. Falls off and dies. That's a pretty big mistake for such a small move in that tactic. Now, taking over Pit, good call. No one from G2 in halls. manawwk alone. They kind of dealt with him really well. They didn't kind of try to rush him down. They just made him scareder and scareder, slowly closed off his angle. And even though a flash came in, they had just enough time to deal with it.
Catching G2 with it every once in a while, but
it's getting pretty tense here in the final moments, trading back and forth for the last 5 rounds. Oh. And kennyS puts that up to work.
Yeah, a little upset about that last round. He seeks revenge right off of the bat, and sure enough, he finds it. This is another one, though, where, remember, G2, they are not fully equipped.
Yeah, but I feel like this is... They're so good on the half... Feels like I'm talking about G2 from a few months ago, which is great. They're so good on the half buys. They're really... They show a lot of ingenuity when they have, like, a mix buy like this. I think this is what makes Nexa the caller that he is. At the moment, Astralis are still sniffing out the exploitable position, wrapping through Arch. But G2, they're being proactive. They push down Banana. They call out this play. So we'll see if the rotation's here in time. But Astralis look like they're primed to execute. almanec could make the play of the hour. Yeah, it's a Zeus, but it might be important. No, Nexa, he'll find the bomb at steps. Look at this.
They have everything they need. Unless Device somehow brings this back in a miraculous fashion.
Another half-buy win.
Zipx, he's all that's left over, and he too toppled by Nexa. G2 getting double digits off. Talking about bottom fraggers, we have Device right now.
Now he's 17-4.
Device is 6-13. It's got to be one of the quietest halves we've seen from Device in some time.
Yeah. I want to say, like, it's been all about these really great setups.
Final attempt here from Astralis on the T side. A map that we thought was going to go the way of the Danes, taking into consideration the losing spree of G2. But this is something different. This was dynamic. This was confident. He's had a multitude of different setups, and it's been nothing but impressive from G2 Esports. kennyS going to drop a shot here towards mid. That could have been the 5v4 in the 15th round. A little bit of utility usage over the rooftops versus the A site. That keeps 3 CTs locked in, but we see that bomb instead sneaking up Banana. So it's Zipx up in the apartments and everybody else for Astralis looking to take down this B bomb site. CTs have just boosted a player up into the new box. It's niko. And once that fire fades,
he's a god from this spot.
He's going to have a lot of pressure put on him. We'll see what he delivers. Nexa, one and done. And, oh, niko sprays into the second player off of the flash. He does not decide to peek, and Zipx dunks one on him. Bomb needs to be recovered. There's only 10 seconds to spare, and dupreeh on 10 HP definitely doesn't help. The longer they wait, the closer G2 get to Banana. And another, op shot from kennyS, taking players down bit by bit. It's Hunter Mohan.
Not at all. Not at G2 of the last couple weeks. This is the G2 this is definitely a better version of them. And I think it's catching Astralis off guard. And you could look at this as Astralis making a lot of mistakes in that first half. But for me, for my money, I would say G2, they just put on a new face from the last time that they went head-to-head, and it caught Astralis off guard, and it was too much to handle because they actually had a lot more variety than we've seen. I've never seen that hall setup where we had kennyS in the middle and 2 extra guys in the halls, and they used that on 2 separate rounds as well, and it caught off the hall setup. So every time Astralis played something new, they got caught off guard a little bit. And so I actually feel like giving a lot of credit here to G2 as opposed to taking away from Astralis. They had a lot on their plate. I think this makes the next time they play Inferno very interesting versus G2 CT side. But now we'll see what happens on CT. Opening kill for Device. Very ambitious setup here at the bottom of Banana. And
it's Magisk at a distance.
He's been shooting hot.
Woof. Sees the shoulder. Molly burns him into the open. That's where almanec's going to drop him. So 2 versus 5 attempt here for G2. May not be the fastest of closes. Ooh, Zipx. He saw that skin. Zipx pops up regardless of knowing he's there. almanec trying to lock in on this, and sure enough, he'll get that kill, but he swaps out to the bomb. They're 5th.
Well, we know Zonic loves having 4 rounds. So we'll see if we can find out why. We got the pistol round to kick it off. They're out on the T side, and we'll see if the T side from G2 has changed as well. And this has also not been an incredibly good side for them, but better, much better than their CT side, in terms of stats.
I say, like, if we had to see changes somewhere from G2,
it was in that first half.
More on CT side. I gotcha. And G2, well, they've been gotten by device. Goes ahead and grabs 3 kills down alt mid. Only Hunter left over, and he dies at the hands of dupreeh's MP9. So a 6-1 Fountain.
That was cool. All right, so buys in, and because Astralis didn't lose anybody, they actually, you know, will keep on the 2 MP9s and a UMP, which are pretty big concessions. Best chance for G2 to keep the momentum high.
They're going to put out that fire immediately, try to kick up the tempo here, G2. And it is enough to convince Device back. Magisk comes out from Boiler, 2 kills for him. And dupreeh all the while helping out on Arch side. That's the bomb drop to the CTs, but niko, he kicks in the teeth of Device real quick.
That's a... Oh, no plant because the bomb is an archway.
Yes, sir.
I wonder with those last T's coming up mid-late if they were actually going to try to crunch towards B. And since they lose the bomb in this spot, yeah, they have to now have those guys entry over. Nobody's in vision right here.
That flash is all they had. jaCkz is actually standing on top of the wooden pallet. The barrel of dupreeh has been seen. Clears close left, expecting dupreeh to swing, but dupreeh doesn't.
There's still library.
Now it's just the straight up 2v2. Yeah, library. That's the next point of contact. Glaive, he's inside here, and he just dunked it on kennyS. niko, he gets dupreeh a little bit.
Played to protect that bomb at all costs. So 4 in a row to start, and things start to get very, very spicy. We've got G2 who, for the most part, have to full save. They'll invest a little bit into upgraded deagles, but that's it. They're basically going to try to hit shots this round. It's actually kind of shocking how many half-buys and ecos we saw Astralis lose to in that first half. But at the same time, I really think that that is what has separated nexa and IGL apart from other people, is a lot of really cool half-buy setups.
Gotta be cautious when deagles are deadly. niko delivers.
Yeah, we remember the last time that G2, when they took Astralis to to overtime, when we were casting it, it was niko had a really lights out T side where Astralis were going for bottom banana control a lot, and niko was flying out in front of their smoke and dueling them on B. And Magisk said, yeah, niko's a good player, but he felt like niko was taking a lot of weird peeks, but he could get away with it because of his aim. And that's something that's going to persist, right? It's not like his aim got worse today. And that'll always be a threat. So I made a video about Simple called, Simple goes above strategy. And I think the same thing can be applied to niko. He's one of those few players that no matter how good you are as a team, he can kind of break apart the game and make it just about how good he's feeling. Oh, a little bit of butt showing here on the corner of banana. jaCkz will get some information.
Nexa a bit too thick for his own good. jaCkz hanging out on coffins. He's going to have 3 players over on the corner. M4 for kennyS. He's the last man in. They're looking to keep that rifle up. Hunter. Oh. 7 seconds, though. That's going to be the biggest issue. Magisk, he's just taking them down one after another, but Aminex's desperation play to get a little more money pays off.
Sick stuff from Magisk to get those kills. Just enough of his team to need ops. On kennyS, I don't think will ever buy an op. He might pick it up if someone drops it for him on Inferno T side. And kennyS actually plays a huge support role on T side. Comes in, 4th, throws a lot of the grenades for their A execs. We're gonna see a lot of flash assists, I think, from kennyS.
High pressure here on the Arch side. This is walking right into the CTs. Damage being done. Glaive, he's been able to drop that bomb again, and the frag, perfect, on point. Nexa still in the corner, dies at the hands of Device. That deadly deagle coming in from both directions. And kennyS, well, he needs support now. He's all that's left over with 8 HP. They tried to go Arch yet again, Launders.
Yeah. Unless for some reason they think they messed something up on that initial entry, I think there's no chance they try that again for the next couple rounds. We'll see if they want to try to test banana a little bit more at first.
At least for G2's sake, they are back into the realm of back-to-back buys. So we don't have to wait to see a different face. And it's Hunter who shows his head here in the apartments, catching Magisk, giving G2 a man advantage. Now, how do they make the most of this? You can see Astralis maybe a bit conditioned towards this consistent arch play. Move jaCkz over. Device sees the utility. He gets tagged up by that frag, finding himself on 54 points of health.
Oh, that's definitely scary for Astralis. Device left alone for a second.
Glaive is the one to come over. Again, G2 met by utility, and they go one better.
Whoa,
Glaive, he doesn't just come over to help, he comes over to kill. And niko, half health, he sees the head over on the logs. This is heavy presence. Device through the wall. Astralis, maybe on a different day, could have just sat back and allowed G2 to make their move, but instead, they take the initiative. And oh, does it work. Now what? 40 seconds on the clock. G2 still with enough utility to justify the execute, and Astralis, they are split down the middle. There is nothing other than a single flash here for the members of Astralis. And it's going to have to be Glaive. Throws that out, goes for the peek on his own accord, jumps up, looks to play between the smokes. 3 Ts on the other side. He shaves nawwk off of the play, never even saw the man. Device comes in with the deagle. If he dies, that's the B site open. He's able to get back into construction. 5 seconds left. They need this bomb plant now. And if Device swings, Kenny would be dead, but he doesn't. And Kenny is now back up on a full bar of health, hoping that Device walks into this. But he's lost his teammate. Kenny has to be everything, and it's not going to happen. Astralis, they've got double digits. They've got that B retake, and they've got themselves a flawless CT side so far.
Let's take a look at how Glaive plays this on Banana, because he takes the first duel, and then he doesn't even fall back to the site. He swings out left, and you're looking at this, and you're thinking, in this moment, he gets the 6 feet under. 10 to 11, and Astralis are working their heart out to get back into this half, and it's going very well. That's crazy. Nothing bad about the way G2 played it. It was just all full credit to Astralis for coming back after losing the opening kill. Kenny S will find a pick in this round as well. Oh, and the flank into Hunter. Oh, he's going to be mad about that one.
Back-to-back rounds where we've seen G2 on a 5v4.
Yeah, look at the damage that's been done. Unconfirmed damage here by the HEs.
jaCkz is the only player at this B site, and he just got smoked off. Here's the footwork crossing over. Buys his time.
He's got no nades to work with, so
ouch.
He's just going to play it back, yeah.
Half his health gone. That's a good return in terms of damage.
We've got full... Wait a second. Are they actually turning away from this? Whoa, they left B completely open and then fall out?
That's a save.
I'm shocked. I didn't think that they would have jaCkz play there if they weren't prepared for that kind of retake, because what were they expecting to get out of the round in case it was B? They really didn't expect G2 to try to enter B right away, and that's where I think the unconfirmed damage comes into play, right? If they knew their HEs had so much impact early on, niko and Kenny, you know, maybe jaCkz shoots there, maybe they try for the retake, but they're probably a little bit threatened by the fact that they're straight up 4 players alive.
Oh, they could still cut a couple off of this. Looking like the double peak. Oh, that's fantastic for Astralis.
That's enormous punch. Hunter goes back to what worked on that last round, trying to punish Magisk for coming into Boiler, and Astralis find a new way to get that kill. Things get very, very scary now here for G2. nawwk on his golden gun, the Mac 10.
Grenade inside of the boiler room at the perfect time in the execute. That could be costly in terms of health.
These flashes.
Magisk, he's going to lock down that bomb first and foremost. dupreeh sitting inside of the graveyard stairs, pops up, sees Nexa. He's got a helping hand in jaCkz, but that didn't work. It was Magisk with the USP to catch the kill inside of sight. dupreeh catching one, jumping towards pit. Hunter trades, and there's a second CT here on top of Scooter. They've lost track of Device. Hunter. Oh, he's gonna die to it, and Device dives back behind the cover. He's got niko hot on his heels. Device, one deke, and a strong...
Back 10, I think Nexa only had a deagle to work with.
Aggression up into the alt mid. They want no space to be given here to G2, but Kenny S and niko, yeah, they're gonna force it off of you. And dupreeh, well, he's lucky to be alive at this point.
This is a hot match, man. All bets are off.
And they're not able to control the weapons either. So M4 here into the hands of Kenny. He's over towards Balk. niko on a deagle. I mean, what else does the man really need? Ooh, maybe a headshot. But Glaive trying to get out of cover here. He knows the threat.
Honestly, Glaive is locked in. He's playing with so much confidence. He's doing all the aggressive moves that you want him to do. He's hitting his shots.
You know, I put Device's stats under a microscope during that first half as we saw Astralis struggle, but he is right back up with the rest of his team now.
Yeah, I think they were getting disabled from like a team aspect. It was like such good rotation, such good tactics that were G2 were employing. It was hard to even fault Astralis because of a G2 were playing so well. But yeah, the shoe is on the other foot. For sure.
Damn, amanek was literally looking at the ground as he ran up, trying to dodge flashbangs. But instead, he should have been dodging bullets.
Well, you know what? This is the right site to go to. There's 20 seconds left. Zypkz is here. No, he either commits or plays this retake. He's going to peek into this, it looks like, maybe.
Yeah, niko, he's the first to cross. Down he goes. There's only 4 seconds to spare. So I'd say despair here for G2, but they respect them enough to let them have this bomb plant.
There's no one in time.
Kenny S. He's only got 10 HP, but that op could still take Astralis down a peg.
Easily, he's opping. He has to make a play.
Looked great. He is 20 and 12 at the moment, the top fragger for G2, and he's comfortably back by Nubox. A missed shot. Kenny dives back by Coffins, and it's Zypkz to take him down. A clean sweep of the post plant here from Astralis. They give it over to them, and we see why. Clean protocol, clean execution, and a clean comeback here from the Danes. We are all tied up at 12.
Of course, with the op to work with, the round is a lot closer than it seems.
Do we call that 1v2 the clutch of the map so far?
It could be the defining clutch for sure. Because, you know, with the 11-4 half.
Kenny op.
Oh yeah, he actually hit T-sides off. This is a rare occurrence for Kenny to T-side off. And it results in a kill because Device, he's gonna keep his guard down a little bit. Think he can go for something like that. Not expecting Kenny to be there. Another 5v4.
We said we needed to see some adaptations from G2. Well, there's one. That's a different look.
I think he had it one other time this half. I don't know if he bought it himself. Actually, maybe he did. Maybe he did.
This, of course, not the first 5v4 we've seen from G2 that Astralis could still take back. Their 4v5 win percentage has been pretty high, it feels, on Inferno. But we're going to get a bit of aggression here from G2. Not wasting much time to get themselves into this B bomb site. Nobody's there to stop them. They're going to go for the boost, and that grenade from Nexa, well, I think that could have been way worse had it not banked off the wall, but it still seems to be enough to convince them to leave. Again, not the first time we watch Astralis walk away from this post-plant attempt.
So they used to be the team that you learned from when it came to how to retake B from CT spawn, but it feels like these days they don't go for it quite as much. And of course, when it's 5v4, it's even more unlikely. So this is a good round from G2. They find the open site quickly after getting the kill. This is exactly what they need. They're going to be testing Astralis. I think this is the final pain point here. The one other round G2 won was the exact same situation in this half. So I think Astralis are going to be pushed to be a little bit more aggressive towards Banana, which might open up and circle back to the round. Not sure if I'm going to see anybody, but he reacts just fast enough. And G2 maintain a lead. If you're just joining us, it doesn't feel like G2 have a lead right now, and it shouldn't.
But again, oh, did it ever once upon a time.
Both teams so close to the finish line. Some of the damage is there. Astralis have won so many rounds, but they haven't built up quite a bank. And we see the 3B setup. They're trying to deny this, fight for it really hard. They'll even get Glaive in front of the half wall. He's been incredibly aggressive and successful at it. Will they read this, though, is the question.
No support. He has nothing here to help him. Device does decide to come back ever so slightly. Nexa's going to clear the corner, but Glaive gets the better of him, and then Device swings out for the second kill. Oh. Magnetized into the open, drawn to Glaive, and it costs them 2.
Oh, the bike feed.
Kenny S just diving down now as Magisk is able to shave a little bit of health off him, but, of course, oh, it's a great grenade from Hunter. A homing missile into the pit.
No one's in B site at the moment.
Now a single man advantage. Device, he's about to peek around the arch. He sees the utilities coming over, and he almost lands that shot. It's glaive instead from library, and we're gonna see G2 sent spiraling back to this B bomb site. They've got 2 belts of utility and 2 capable players still up. Nothing for Astralis other than guns and a single kit. They have to concede the bomb plant unless they want to run a massive risk. Device hears that bomb plant, decides not to fire the op. kennyS, he gets the first rotator. Device, oh, he stepped on the fire, and still he shoots through into mantuu. It's Kenny in the clutch. A CT still on cross. He's drawn into Device, who seals the deal with 3 kills on this op.
That is incredibly well handled. After getting tagged by the Molotov, should have absolutely died. Could say he's unlucky for that happening. In the final rounds, it feels like this is where they have just enough information to really make it even more difficult. So if you couldn't do it early on, they're going to make it feel like you never could. So, niko up to bat. They couldn't trade out glaive. Again, he's been really successful with his aggressive duels at arch, at banana. Many rounds now. Different look from Astralis. Back in the site, mauling in front of the half wall. Don't know if they're going to re-aggress just yet. Glaive starts to walk his way over. I think this is a timing where, you know, G2 in the past have just gone into a full B exec, but this time they've got eyes forward on mid. They're trying to get Device or anybody else under the porch away with these Molotovs. And the Halls pop is pretty good. There's no one here inside of the pit.
Just a rush. They burst beyond dupreeh. Magisk here to help him. Glaive also with a kill. And that's it. A response. And kennyS slips through smoke. A site completely blown away.
What can you say? Great call from Nexa. They had that moment. Glaive thinks this is that point where we don't have banana presence. G2 have executed B off nothing. No noise whatsoever. Come in quick. He leaves for a second. The A site is a little bit weaker because of it. G2 hit the A site. It's just the perfect read on the situation.
We've seen adjustments. At first it was all arch. Then it turned into the kennyS op. Now a Balk burst. This is what Astralis were using to win rounds.
Hit tab for me there. So 2 of the last 5 rounds and a streak of 6 in a row before that to start the half for Astralis. But now the intermittent wins from G2, they're upping the frequency. It's happening more often.
Glaive a little preoccupied with what was an unsuccessful hold. Astralis keeping 2 alive, a 4 to buy. This is the big one. If G2 take a 15th, then they have Astralis absolutely strapped for cash. Game on, boys.
almanac to the halls this time instead of Hunter.
And to play early over towards Banana. Astralis, they are not taking any major risks.
Yeah, yeah. And
maybe that is a risk in and of itself.
Well, yeah, and exactly. And G2 are, you know, that's definitely a great way to frame it. And look at G2. They're trying to buy into their insecurity, right? They're throwing a fake smoke down into B. They're walking back towards the A site. They have Halls control to deal with. Could be another great call from G2 as Astralis start to try to gamble into the round. Pay attention to which way this bomb leans, but it seems like they're trying to take over the brackets.
Softening up a couple players from G2. Magisk's position on balcony. Almost got the kill towards Boiler. niko gets aggressed upon. He falls back. And Device, oh.
They're taking a lot of time, and now players are leaving the B site.
Yep. Wild, G2 also moved back closer towards Banana, and it's not like Device has this deep angle.
Man, this is sick. Full slave to the rotations after losing bracket, having no information, and not seeing anything.
And we've seen Astralis save the majority of the time that this B site falls. Device, he is on his own, lays the smoke on the retreat, comes back in, misses the second shot, lands the third, but mantuu, he had run over top of the oranges, and Hunter denies Glaive, who just goes for a bit of a chance by bursting through that smoke. Now, we have seen unconfirmed damage that Astralis didn't know about when they decided to go for these saves. This time, yet again, you've got two players for G2 low, but look at the CTs. They're all the way over in pit. They decide to concede. Have we even seen a B site retake attempt?
No, they don't even try it, especially not low numbers. I had such low expectations coming into this game. G2 coming off a 4-map loss streak on Inferno. I think we casted each and every single one. They looked very disappointing. They're losing to teams they should not lose to. And now they come into this game versus Astralis. They start off really strong. Astralis show a strong face in the second half, and G2 have felt like that he was the only person who was available to make that call. So you want to give him credit for that moment. 2 in a row here for G2 on 15. And Astralis, they're forced to buy. They have an MP9, a UMP, and a FAMAS to pair with their M4s. No op on device.
Not nearly as proactive of a CT side as what we saw from G2. Astralis just doing what they do. Aminek's got a player closer than the one he sees. dupreeh, he could just swing wide on this. And dupreeh doesn't want to die, so that could have been a massive risk. He decides to hold it off while the 2 players in Boiler get an angle, but they just gave it up, and Hunter, his head could have been popped. Instead, he is given a chance to back away as niko gets closer to B. With bomb not far beyond him. We've got 4 players yet again from G2 setting up. And why wouldn't you? We haven't seen Astralis been able to stop them on the cusp of this. We haven't seen Astralis justify going for a retake. And the 2 players on A still for the CTs are far gone. Let's see. If this is a commitment from G2, then Astralis will be put to the test. They've got Xyp9x on oranges with just the MP9. There are still incendiaries clearly in hand for gla1ve. dupreeh also boosted. Xyp9x falls off of his initial position, takes a little bit of refuge here between the boxes instead. Smoke grenade goes down on the fire. Flash in the face of the T's. gla1ve on the other side. Tons of damage being done. G2 being held off for the time being. But there's a player wrapping around construction, and that could be everything. niko, he's going to catch gla1ve inside the edge of the smoke. It is all on Xyp9x. He gets the reload. 10 seconds left. Just needs to decide whether to deny bomb plant,
no
but he
way.
gets burned into the open. Yet again kills. Device and Magisk with 1 apiece. And niko, he's got his plant, but the frag is on point. And Astralis on 14.
Oh, so much money there with the nades that they used. The smoke on the incendiary coming in. They created so much chaos for the T's. The HE, like for how that execute into the site went. That was really, really well done for Astralis considering what they had to work with. Such a high-level match so far. Only good things to say about both teams. And it comes down to round 30.
Oh my god, a drop shot by device. gla1ve's able to sustain. He then eats utility damage, very low. CT's able to answer, grenade after grenade, damage after damage. nexa, he's gonna get that close kill. Oh! Double grenade kill from gla1ve. Device inside of the smoke as it fades. Hunter swings all the way back out, and we did not see that Deagle able to stop it. But there are still 2 players here for G2, Kenny S and Hunter. Bomb's going down. Kenny's going to be left in the open once that banana wrap comes in, but dupreeh is still so far removed. There is good utility here for Astralis. Let's see if they can get this retake. Even last round was made easy by these pieces of utility.
Oh, they have a smoke for CT.
Sick angle. Hunter's just gonna hold close. gla1ve goes by. Kenny hits the shot. gla1ve, oh, he may have died, but that is it. Astralis, they take us the distance, and we need OT.
Oh, let's go. We go to OT. That's wonderful. Another setup here. Astralis go for the 3B trap early on, just in case G2 try to execute in a similar way. They've got device there, along with 2. This is, of course, the trade that could have made it a very precarious 1v1 for Astralis. But now we're into overtime. It absolutely had to happen. It's good to see both teams full grenades, everything they want. And Kenny now consistently opping here on the T side, even though he started out not. He's done the very difficult task of finding opening kills with the op on T side. No real underperformers in this match. A little bit more consistent across the board from Astralis, but everybody's showing up. Now you've really used up all your juice coming into overtime, right? Things get a bit more scrappy. You've got to find tricky openings, timings that weren't there before. Smoke comes down front sight.
I feel like Astralis' formula tends to work in overtime better than anybody else's. Every time we get into an overtime game, I just feel Astralis powering up with it. Takes a lot to push them down once we exit the first 30 rounds, but we'll see.
They're pretty passive here. They threw there was a smoke down on the front of the site on B after gla1ve took that flash peek to top banana. They haven't come back to it. Device or dupreeh playing timidly in the archway. So this is a good opportunity to go B. The device and sorry, gla1ve is just trying to figure out where he should be. He can't figure it out.
Flash to the little pit. jaCkz cuts down the first 2 players. G2 hitting a bit of a brick wall on this B site. Device, he's going to throw a flash. 10 seconds left over. I mean, G2, they just boiled this one into their own demise. They are stranded. They are cowering in the corner, and they have no time. And now they're going to die even after.
Very high on average across the board. Already something slightly new. niko's been doing a pretty good job of getting banana information.
Oh man, danger very close. Oh, and he's gets hard checked by jaCkz. I'm surprised we didn't see him swing or think he could capitalize on any of those moments. He was really hoping Astralis would overextend around the wall. We didn't see a flash come out from G2 for him to try and stop that. You could see he was wary of the boost, but Astralis, they're able to get away with it. 20 HP makes the difference there for jaCkz.
And now Astralis, they're definitely chilling a little bit more. Bracket will get taken over. Device can commit in front of the moto smoke here, looking for the off duel, but almanac out-duels him. Oof, what an opening. Middle of the map has been cracked. And almanac, he's running all the way through spawn. He's going to see 2 pressing outside of B. This means they could fall back out of mid if they'd like to, but instead they'll try to crush the A site. Magisk has to turn between 2 angles, and dupreeh, he's stuck on the balcony. He has to fight.
He's only able to get 1 kill with it. So now we see Astralis relegated to the library. almanac going to be exposed, but nope. He just gets back around the corner. We've got that high ground from Hunter inside the apartments. And Zip never sees it coming. Total execute.
But this is almanac. When he fights them in CT spawn, they can't even rotate fast enough to help out the 2 teammates that are left on A. And for G2, in these early rounds, they had a lot of time getting across archway without dealing with the rotators too soon. So almanac out-dueling device, and then going into CT spawn and fighting the B rotators was everything.
almanac's going to keep up this arch aggression. Looking to maybe rely on what worked last round, but we do get a redirection here towards short. CT's not in their best of spots. dupreeh, he's going to need to deliver, but it's almanac with a double headshot. niko takes a head off, and just like that, we've got G2 sinking their teeth into the A site. Astralis, after the CT side comeback, they let 2 rounds slip on this OT CT side unless they 2v5, and the odds of that, slim as hell. Kenny S, the insurance policy here. Once those counter-terrorists get going, he just locks them into position. 14 health left for device. This is a 17-16 lead for G2 after the end of the first.
It all, man. Sometimes he's lurking on T side, sometimes he's entering, all in the same round too. So now we swap over, and G2, we go back to that fantastic CT side, and Astralis with more data now. We'll see if they can overcome it.
Damn. Utility damage and a half. nexa and Kenny walking wounded. Did G2 re-aggress? This is crazy. Every single player in the server has between 20 and 25 kills. All 10 players tonight are delivering.
Yep.
And that is exactly what you want when we've got Astralis and G2 in the server.
Oh, this is a really high-level match.
Still got the 3-man setup. Kenny, he's going to hit that first shot. niko continues to spray and takes that 2-man advantage.
Oh, he gets up oranges as well.
AK start firing back through. They find nothing in return, not even damage beyond what they had already done. I mean, Kenny down to 6 now, but no chance to really reopen that wound on the B site.
2 hurt players playing over in the B site. One of them's going to rotate over to pick up Speedway. Hunter can commit more to the site, and it does look like A is on the menu. So now we're going to see the CTs get very comfortable here. Glaive, maybe he's going to try to throw one more fake. I don't know. Look, they're doubling up in pit even with Kenny watching the speedway.
This is going to be a challenge for Zip to somehow break through. CT smoke goes down on short. manawk out in the open. dupreeh not able to get that immediate trade kill. Glaive, his Molotov comes in, and they still don't know about Hunter. He has fallen completely silent. And he waits, and he waits, and he gets denied by dupreeh. Only 7 seconds left. Bomb planted. This is an opening for Astralis to tie up at 17. But it's over towards short that niko begins to walk in, and he hones in on Glaive. Instant headshot. Loses no health. niko's got 2 kills. dupreeh's got cover. Pops up and cannot answer. niko delivers the retake after Astralis made that one look doable.
That's a retake they couldn't pull off in the first half. When things got really close and those crazy entries came in the last final moments, Astralis were able to win the 2v1s, the cheese, but then we saw the re-aggression. Kenny S went out wide for the BP. He got flashed, he took a shot, niko had his fallback. They both stayed alive, and then they read the adjustments perfectly, playing 2 pit. They are making all the moves. They look primed to take this map. They're continuing on their dominant run on the CT side. And Astralis failed in this first half to show us what their comeback could look like. Now Halls is taking over for Astralis. It's an early 3B setup. No decision has been made for Astralis. If they knew Arch was open, this would be a terrifying situation for G2. With no noise. They don't even want to throw top banana grenades so as to affect anything. Coming back to A could be the exactly perfect call, but look at this. They're holding their nerve inside of B. Bracket control is all a farce.
They're going to walk into the setup. It's niko flirting with the front of it. Utility in hand. Smoke down at the 30-second mark. Oh my. It is crunch time. And niko, the landmine, sits between the smokes. They're going to try to just push right through. He gets flashed and misses the shots. Nexa's only good for the 1. It's Hunter here on the half wall. He delivers 2 kills. dupreeh's able to answer. And it's even at the 2v2 with just enough time to bomb plant. Astralis in the post plant. manawk and Kenny S. It is their job to recover. First op shot misses the mark. A little bit more damage into dupreeh. Flashes start to fly over, and manawk, he's going to take that front runner position. He's flashed in by Kenny, and it's the corner from dupreeh that holds the line for now. Kenny's going to need some sick flicks because he is pinched between 2 T's, and he jumps around to the coffins. Good movement in the clutch, but where has dupreeh gotten off to? He wrapped all the way around construction. Kenny hits the shot,
He knows.
taps that bomb. He's looking for the kill, but he just can't find it.
This is such an insane match. At every single moment. All these 2v2 retake situations, and now they're starting to become more 50-50. It was a one-sided story to begin the game.
This is some top-level Counter-Strike.
Yep.
What a delight of a first map so far this series. In a map that we thought maybe G2 weren't going to be able to deliver. Oh, they've got one more chance to close here, or else we go double OT. And I don't think anybody would mind.
We're doing the Virtus Pro lane setup with the roof boost. Again, it's so hard to keep things fresh in overtime. They're trying something new. They've got sandbags control, so they're still holding on to the top of banana. Astralis peeling away from... And the last time they took lane control, they did smoke out Arch, but I mean, they smoked out lane. But we've got manawk up top. We'll see how this goes. Oh, initial off shot comes in. manawk still goes unchecked, but they might know he's here.
This is big for manawk. Device is not giving him the shot. dupreeh's down to 40 HP, and that's the answer. Now they know about manawk, and he could get caught by Zip, but he's on high alert, manawk, and he falls back into the bomb site. He's got a second player here. That's niko over on Graveyard. Bomb starting to go the opposite side. Magisk, he's going to become the entry.
Nexa starts to run over. Smoke will go down. Nate to try to stop him, but now they're running back over towards the A side. niko's not moving.
niko is going to have to just absolutely cement this position. He goes for the peek, and, oh, he doesn't get it. jaCkz survives with 2 points of health. Astralis rocking the bomb back and forth, rocking the boat, and G2 in shaky situation. This is tense. They have no utility for the retake. They want to close this game. Oh, they want it bad. But it's another smoke in their face, and 2 players back by pit. Magisk hits the shot through the side of the smoke, and nexa already starting to take damage. He walks right through it, misses his chance.
Because it's just consistently delivering. Nobody's faltering in overtime. Both teams are just getting better.
Not one player has dropped off. I can't recall the last time I've seen stats like this.
Yeah, it's so even here. kennyS, he has been continuing to get opening kills. That was a testy lane setup that they tried last time around. kennyS, he's going to have some pressure put on him. He takes a lot of damage, but he doesn't die. He'll eventually fall out. This is when it got scary last time for Astralis.
They are on the cusp of this A site. We get the rotates from G2 coming over. Glabe's going to work around the pallet.
You know what? There's a lot of progress being made on the T side, but oh, the flash in from niko.
Glabe, oh, he's now starting to dive back. That's a lot of presence being given to Arch side. Maybe Astralis read into this and dive out, but no, they just want to go ahead on the offensive. They attack. nawwk, he's burned into the open, and it's niko with the 2K diving back into the cover. They challenge and they take him down. jaCkz getting the better of him in back-to-back rounds. Nexa, narrow angle, decides to come out. He's got jaCkz behind the double box, and that...
And they didn't get that opening arch kill on Kenny, that everybody was going to be attracted to this position, but they had the smokes in place to make sure the rotators couldn't fight that early.
What's... Oh my... He's looking at his feet.
He's looking... They were going to go for a boost. They didn't expect him to come out mid that early. He was trying to pick towards stairs, but it's a faster default here on the T side. kennyS, he could get shot on the side. He's holding deep for stairs. Yeah, that's it. He can't see anything. This is where it could all fall apart for G2.
Yeah, they are shooting for that clean sweep on the T side. Zip's gonna get caught as he falls into pit, but he's not even dead. He has survived what seems like every round so far once we got into double OT. They cannot kill this man. And obviously, G2 working with $10,000 in overtime. They cannot justify this retake.
What a tragic way to lose the map if they do.
They're at the mercy of Astralis even trying to save these guns.
Of course, Astralis need 22 here to close out, so there's still hope for G2. Both teams look good in both halves at this point. They both figured out a lot of stuff. But yeah, that's what's going to happen. You get into double overtime. We're finally getting kills like this. Like, it felt like we didn't get one kind of lucky timing kill this entire game until this point. But they're finally starting to happen. In G2, they're the ones to falter a little bit first.
And he just threw his smoke towards spawn. Oh my god. Talk about down to the wire. 6 HP. niko, he gets 2 kills, but the incendiary eventually spreads. Hunter, he's going to be fine. He'll be just... And keeps off what could have been an initial bit of success from the defense's rotate. And now, oh, poor G2. They're working with an ump and a CZ on Kenny, no kit for a retake, limited nades, and an Astralis that looked to take all 3 rounds on this T side of double OT.
Well, we saw a couple of rounds where G2 didn't have much to work with, and they still won. Actually, more than a couple in that first half. They do bring a lot to the table on these half-buy type situations. They think about how to use these guns effectively, but it's still a weapon deficit nonetheless. Astralis looking for the Halls pop. There is a player in pit.
Zip on the entry. Ump gets blinded. nawwk just hoping that they come walking around the corner. Not going to happen. 2 instant kills. 3 instant kills. Again, it is the story of an aggressive offense on the A site from Astralis.
Damn, they actually close it out. Flawless here in the first 3 T rounds of OT number 2. See the AI prediction, virtually no chance of this retake taking place. Astralis would have to show us an Astralis we haven't seen this game, and that's one that's just been getting better all feet on this map. But looking forward now, I think they can confidently say their Inferno has improved drastically. So we'll see if this is going to be the final round, potentially. kennyS is going to spot the cross, call for his teammates to watch in halls. And G2 will have to break new ground. 3 rounds on T side just to bring it to OT number 3.
niko gets that first contact.
Oh, that's
perfect.
That's beautiful. Just layups himself there. Just the alley-oop.
Glave's gonna try to challenge off of coffins. This is the opening that G2 were hoping for. Oh, and they get Glaive as well. Nexa, he's got that headshot. It's a 5v3 advantage for G2 on the B site. We watched Astralis concede more than 1 round over on the B-bomb site, and that's exactly what's gonna happen here in double OT.
That's niko again, creating space. He finds that opening by himself, does the damage.
Just banks it off the skybox.
The nade to follow up right for that first orange's rotate. It's just perfect. Well played from every perspective. Bomb will go down. CT's here to save. Of course, you know, you need it's the full game of Counter-Strike here in 10K OT. Saving and being careful is very important, as well as trying to find these exits. There's also incentive here so the game does not end. And they're going to try to hunt these down so they have an easier route. It's pretty much their only chance, right? If they win 2 in a row, then they can earn themselves a route to actually winning that third. But if there's 3 saves on this round, then you think that's going to be far more unlikely. So they're creeping up. Bomb's about to explode. And I don't know, it's going to be quite difficult with the smoke still up.
Unlike a boom bot.
And he had nothing, like there was no better place for jaCkz to go, right? So he had him zoned. If he had rotated back through, you know, the other side of the fountain, then niko could have definitely sprayed him down or peeked him. So he knew exactly where he was. He took out that target.
Let's see it, Astralis. You got 2 chances to close this. kennyS hunting his prey here towards banana. A random shot through the wall could just drop jaCkz in a moment. Device gets taken away from the angle. Flash goes over top. Zip looking to bank a nade back the other way. Sure enough, it does hit Nexa. Tons of utility now being exchanged, but it is all still under question. Astralis, they don't fall back into the bomb site. G2 don't leave. They don't charge forward. It's just posturing here at the minute mark.
Tense situation. They're going to throw that Molotov to get device back specifically. And there's no re-aggression for the time being, so they could get half wall control, which is in the next few seconds. They'll flash over to clear things out. They're going to see device is not here, but they still have to worry about him within the site. But maybe they just want the B control.
Hunter, he's gone through the apartments now as well, sees nothing. Oh, they try to flash him off, and it doesn't find his eyes. niko is down for the count.
Just throws 3 CTs on this side, so this double pit setup is going to have to work together.
It's Magisk and dupreeh. Smoke laid down preemptively. Magisk, he finds Hunter with a nade out. This is it. Astralis 5 versus 3 trying to close out in double overtime. Op shot connects to Glaive, but he still stands. More utility damage coming in. Nothing has fallen on the A site. Nothing at all. Kenny gets a single